What's the deal, y'all?
What's good?
What up, though?
It's your girl, the Caribbean Chocolate, Jocelyn Navarro.
Good. It's the one and only Rufus Lala.
It's your boy, the Problem, Isaiah Broner.
It's the Urban Playboy, Pretty Boy Smooth.
This is the Croc Rocket. Nickelback Poppin'. Curls for all the girls. The Perminator, Sam Bale.
This is the more of Irish strong style. The Wild Irish, Riley Rose.
This is Only One Rhonda, and you're tuned into.
Now tuned in.
You're not tuned in.
Tune in.
Tuned in.
You're tuned in to
Tune into.
What's the deal, y'all?
What's good?
What up, though?
It's your girl, the Caribbean Chocolate, Jocelyn Navarro.
Good. It's the one and only Rufus Lala.
It's your boy, the Problem, Isaiah Broner.
It's the Urban Playboy, Pretty Boy Smooth.
This is the Croc Rocket. Nickelback Poppin'. Curls for all the girls. The Perminator, Sam Bale.
This is the more of Irish strong style. The Wild Irish, Riley Rose.
This is Only One Rhonda, and you're tuned into.
Now tuned in.
You're not tuned in.
Tune in.
Tuned in.
You're tuned in to
Tune into Marks with Mike.
Marks with Mics.
Marks with Mics.
Marks with Mics.
Marks with Mikes.
Keep it player.
Enjoy the show.
respectfully.
Now somebody hit my music.
Can you give at Marks with Mike's podcast a shout out? Shout out!
Hey yo. What am I doing? Are you kidding me? Irresistible force feeding the immovable object.
Girl, you already know what it is by the sound of my voice. It's Ratchet Bubba 6'9" JT back in this piece once again, and I am joined by the homie Dallas Cash.
What's good? How y'all doing?
Oh, laying in the cut like a band-aid per usual. But before we go any further, our homie Cheech not feeling too well. Let's go to send some prayers, positive vibes, and all good juju out to him. He'll be back next week's episode, crossing the fingers. But man, huge week last week. I feel like Principal Bane Pimpel with this big pimple in the middle of my forehead. It hurts. But we are here. Last week was crazy. We had WWE TakeOver Cleveland. They did that. You had GCW, you had AIW, you had West 6 being taken over. You also had the Flats being taken over. Wrestling pretty much took over Cleveland as a whole for a whole entire week. A whole week. If you weren't a wrestling fan, you became a wrestling fan, or you knew somebody that was a wrestling fan, or you found out more about wrestling that week because it was everywhere. From meet and greets to pop-ups to Tower City being taken over. Like it was pretty decent. I cannot even be mad at it at the end of the day because that was huge for the city, right? When's the last time the city had something this big? What was it? All-Star
game?
Yeah. All-Star game, the All-Star baseball game, and the NBA All-Star.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was the last time the city had something that big where it generated a lot of these people, a lot of this money, a lot of eyes on the city, man. So that was huge in its own. Got the chance to kick it, got the chance to meet Bianca Belair, man.
I'm jealous. I am Wholeheartedly jealous. I am not gonna front, ladies and gentlemen.
Why you jealous, man? Why you jelly?
Because it should have been me.
Should have been you.
It should have been me. It should have been me. But I had to work, so I missed it, and that was okay. I'm glad you got to meet her. How was the experience when you first walked up there? Like, what did she say?
I'm not gonna hold you. Like, the line was pretty long. It was a lot of people that showed up before I did. You know, I didn't want to be one of the ones that was out there, you know, with the chair and the sleeping bag and all that stuff. So I pulled up probably like around 1:30-ish. The meet and greet started at 2. And yeah, she was awesome. I walked up to her, and my very first words to Bianca Belair was, "Oh my God, the mother of Mecca is upon me." Now, if you don't know what movie that's from Don't Be a Menace. But those are the first words I said, right? And she, you know, gave a little giggle or whatever. So I'm like, thank you for everything you're doing for the community, the people. It's an honor, you know, to definitely get a chance to meet you. Her voice is a little bit gone because, of course, we're doing all that talking and yelling and screaming through the week. So I was like, you mind we do 2 poses, right? So the first pose was the first picture that she showed, which was us in the B-boy stance, what have you. So we, yeah, arms folded and everything. She was with it. So I said for the second one, let's give them Shawn Michaels and Triple H. So that's the one that she actually ended up using and posting on all her platforms. So first of all, honored that happened because I wasn't expecting, you know, none of that to happen. You know, it happens. You know, no big head there for me. I'm just happy that, you know, got a little share, whatever. Leave from there, right? Had to go pick up my son. He was acting up at school, whatever. I'm trying to not let that moment, you know, get overshadowed by being a parent or whatever. So leave from there, and I want to say this had been Wednesday. Was this Wednesday or Thursday? I'm trying to.
I think it was Thursday. It might have been. I think it's Wednesday or Thursday. I think Thursday though.
I'm thinking it was Thursday too. So leave from there. It's time for AIW's Against the World. Right. Get there. Culture Clash Network gets there. When I say Culture Clash Network, I mean Powerbomb Jitsu. I mean Marks with Mikes was in the building. And, of course, Society and Pop Culture were with us in spirit, along with Get Your Podcast. So we get there. We're trying to figure out what's going on with the, you know, the merch table situation and all this stuff because we have merch to pull. We have merch to push. When I say merch, I mean merch that, you know, that we were selling, that we actually got some pretty good buys out of, which will probably be online here probably within the next week or so. But yeah, that was pretty cool seeing that, right? So the merch was there, get the merch table, run into some people. Hold on one second. I was literally just about to DM you actually when the next screen was, bro.
Hey, what up, Snow? That's good. That's my boy Snow. He was with me when we did the podcast for Mia Yim. Shout out to Meechin. Shout out. I definitely copped your shirt online. But yeah, yo, Snow, Marks with Mikes. This is the people who brought me into this. This is Mr. 6'9" JT. He brought me into Marks with Mikes and got me started on this podcast thing. So
I'm really only 5'6" in real life. Don't believe that. Don't believe that. No, but it was a good experience, right?
Right.
And Snow, you can pull up anytime you want to pull up, bro.
Yeah,
but,
subscribe to the channel.
But it was a good experience, right? We had that going on. Whatever, move some merch. End up running into some people that we haven't seen in a while. Shout out to the AIW roster. Shout out to, of course, Jocelyn, Isaiah,
The problem.
PME. Yeah, Isaiah Bronner is the problem. Listen,
For real.
that man's a whole ass problem in these streets. Shout out to PME. Shout out to Cheech and Colin Denali. Shout out to Mikey. Shout out to hey, if I forget you, it's not because I'm not thinking about you. It's because I had a very long week. What you got, Brody?
No, shout out to Meechin. She just retweeted the picture, and I tagged us in it. Tagged the show in it. So now, bring all them people over. Bring all them people over.
Shout out to Meechin, the HBIC. Okay. But no. Shout out to the whole roster and everyone that makes the show run. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be the Rain Crew, the announcers. Shout out to Mr. John Thorne for putting on another one. I see another one, another banger of the show. Heath Slater was out there. You also had Kenta, who came through, who had a banger of a match with Isaiah Bronner. And we cannot forget about Motor City Machine Guns, possibly last appearance on the Indies before going to the E. So that's what they say. But
Cutting out a little bit there. Still there, JT? Okay, it looks like JT's having some technical difficulties. So overall, the SummerSlam experience and the takeover experience in Ohio has just been like absolutely overwhelming. And with that happening, right, we had a bunch of people who had initially were like, yo, what is all this for? Blah, 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 blah. And JT will be back. I think he's just having some internet difficulties, but he'll be back. As we went into SummerSlam, like my experience, I had to grab a Stone Cold Steve Austin shirt with my wife. My wife was excited to go to SummerSlam because this was her second big PLE. So she had not been to any of the big four when I first met her. So the first pay-per-view I took her to was Extreme Rules 2018. Braun Strowman throwing Kevin Owens off the top of the steel cage in the same arena that Mankind was thrown off by The Undertaker right around the same time too. And with that happening, ladies and gentlemen, she had not been to a PLE event that was like a big PLE event. So the first one we went to was Survivor Series 2019. And that's the same weekend we met The Undertaker and took a photo with him. The next one actually after that, like the big PLE, was this SummerSlam because we didn't go to anything else after that. So with SummerSlam, it was just a whole different experience. And it was her second PLE, like I've said, of the big four. So we got that knocked out of the way. With SummerSlam that just happened around the corner, you got to ask yourself, like, you know, what's next after this? Because, you know, Bash at Berlin is the next PLE that's coming up in Germany. And ladies and gentlemen, wholeheartedly speaking, it was a bunch of things going on. We had tragedy. we had betrayal. We had all of those things. And I think a lot of that also culminates with the fact that we had the return of the O.T.C, the original tribal chief, the one, Roman Reigns. And without speaking candidly, as opposed to how it was years ago, Triple H again has hit it out of the park and has again done it again. He has done something that Vince could not do. And we're just going to keep it real. He was able to turn Roman face and get them to cheer for Roman. And that's not knocking It's not knocking Vince. It's just that the power of Triple H's booking has wholeheartedly just made you guys understand, hey, where we're going with this is what's going to happen. First and foremost, when we got there, because we were running late, initially I thought that the event was going to start at 8 o'clock because that's what time all the events start. Well, the event started at 6:30, which threw me off because I was still getting ready. So I had to speed up to the event. I had to pick up my two friends, drop them off, and when I went to the parking lot, and I had paid $213 for parking just to park close. I get there, and the security guard tells me, "Oh, the people left. You can just go park. We don't have to scan your ticket." I could have been lying, and you wouldn't have known. So now I just wasted $213 for the orange lot parking. And pro tip, ladies and gentlemen, if it says that you got to pay that much for parking, ignore it and go to the event. Ignore it and go to the event. This is 6 foot JT's coming back in. Ignore it and go to the event wholeheartedly, because there was a lot next to the one that I had paid $213 for, and they were offering parking spots for $36. Somebody fucking shoot me. So when we got there, initially the first match it popped off, which was Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan for the women's world championship. And again, like, Dominic is the only person I know that started out as a heel and then turned super heel with the inclusion of his him turning his back on Rhea Ripley and then planting a long ass kiss on Liv Morgan. Mm-hmm. And all I could just think about was this. Fuck is wrong with Buddy? Fuck is wrong with Buddy? Like, wholeheartedly, you are a slimy piece of shit. But we saw this coming. We did. We said, yo, he's gonna fold. He already had folded, because if you think about it, he's not actually wrong for what he did.
No,
he's not wrong. And
why would he be wrong?
Why would he be? Because when he initially joined Judgment Day, Rhea was beating his ass all the time. He got initiated into Judgment Day. She was mistreating the shit out of him just to get him to come in. Turned him against his dad. Liv comes in, treats him like a king, gives him his favorite food, which are chicken nuggets or chicken tenders. Bought him a PS5, helped Finn and JD get the tag titles by betraying and befriending R-Truth. Like, is Dominic really wrong for what he did?
No, he's not wrong. Listen, she had me at chicken nuggets and PS5. Okay, listen, Dominic left an abusive relationship, which he should have. He left his abuser and went on to somebody who was willing to save him. Okay, chicken nuggets and fries. We don't go on dates. That's a Future bar, by the way. The PS5 with the games, Liv Morgan was giving Dominic sugar mama quality type of benefits without even giving up the sugar. Okay? Think about that. That's the first thing. Okay. Second thing is, think about it. Liv, and I may get cussed out for it, but Liv was only doing what she's supposed to do as a side chick. I said it. Make that dude feel like a king. Okay? When's the last time that mommy Rhea Ripley made Dominic feel like a king? Okay? She talked down to Dominic all the time. if you don't do this, don't come back. Okay. There's a lot of moments where you can go back and see that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Dominic tried to apologize, tried to bring in flowers and candy and whatever. She ripping up flowers, she throwing stuff out. Like, all right, you know what? I'm done kissing your ass. I'm gone. And guess what? This little blonde girl right here, top shelf milk. Okay, that's top shelf milk. I'm sorry. You go ahead and do you. I'ma do me. So I'm not mad at him turning on her at SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
For the people that are mad, grow up. It is what it is. And it ain't what it ain't. At the end of the day, it was the right call. Dominic's always been the heel.
Yes, he has. And I will say this. Rhea Ripley was acting like she was the prize. When in reality, you're only the prize to the man you don't want.
That part. And
Dom went after Liv because he really wanted her.
That's a lot of pressure.
Oh my God. Like, I've never seen somebody go from heel to super heel. Like, man had a heel turn within a heel turn. That is just, yeah. Like, Liv uplifted him, like you said. She never put him down, never talked down on him. Gave him a nickname to make him feel like he was a king. She called him Poppy.
Come on, man.
Called him Daddy. What you supposed to do with that?
You can't do nothing. Listen, I don't know about you, but as a grown man, when another woman calls me daddy, Poppy, it just does something to me, right? She sitting here calling them dumb. That ain't, come on, dumb. That's not doing nothing for me.
Yeah.
But you call me daddy. I'm there. I'm Papa. I'm all that.
Praying on that little boy like that.
Come on, man.
Like, you deserved it. I mean, Dom, you still a piece of shit, but you were justified in what you did.
Exactly. He was. It was definitely justified with what he did. And guess what? If you got a problem with that, go back, watch the over a year of footage of Rhea Ripley treating Dom like shit.
I have something that I want to say, but I'm gonna wait till I get until Damian Priest and Gunther to say it. But it ties in with what we were talking about, and it has something to do with Liv and the Damian Priest match. When we get there, you'll see what I'm talking about.
Okay. When we get there. But my bad. Before the connection did what it did, I said something about AIW. Oh, I was saying it was a great show. I was saying that great work put together by John Thorne and everyone there at AIW makes the wheels go round. We were there for it. We were also there for GCW. GCW was hot. Got to see the homie Zilla Fatu do his thing, and GCW go up against Josh Bishop. Moving on from that, we also was at the Hills Have Eyes West Side Gun. We was out there, bro. Like we was literally out there hanging out there like two nuts, hanging out there like we were definitely in these streets this past weekend. Okay, we were out there. The West Side Gun concert was crazy. We got to run into Antonio from No Marks Allowed. Got to link up with him real quick. My man was decked out inside the fourth rope apparel. It even came with the Jason mask on as well. But yeah, we was out there. Cheech, myself, Dom, Powerbomb Jetsu. We were out there. We had a pop-up surprise there by Benny the Butcher. He was there as well. Yeah, this was big, bro. This was big as hell, man. Like, I've been to Wale Mania, and I've been to Hills Have Eyes. Mm-hmm. You can't compare the two. They are two different entities. Okay, two different type of shows. this to me was a great booking of a show. I got to see Bun B. Okay, Bun B came out, killed it. West Side Gun bought all of his artists out. They kill it. DJ Muggs was out there. Like this was dope, bro. Like this was definitely a great part of the SummerSlam weekend, man. Real hip hop heads. Josh Bishop had merch at the pop-up shop. This was great. But back to SummerSlam. And I can't talk about it without talking about I ran into Noelle Foley.
You did? Oh, that's right.
Yes. So ran into Noelle Foley. That was a beautiful experience. End up kicking it with Kareem Hunt of the Browns for a minute at Club Ivy. Ran into the Hawk 2 girl. She was there.
Yep.
She was there, and I actually ran into one of her friends who was with the merch Hawk 2 316. so that was pretty cool as hell. I wonder what Hawk 2 316 means. Never mind. I really don't want to know.
Yeah, I think we all know what that means.
But back to SummerSlam. I'm sorry, I got a little sidetracked. SummerSlam was great. Them opening up SummerSlam with Liv versus Dom was perfect. It's perfect to kick it off. Perfect way to get the story going. Was I surprised that Liv walked out as champion? Not at all.
Nope.
Not at all.
We all called it.
We all called that because it makes no sense for you to get that title for just 2 months.
Nah, she's got to beat like credible names. She's pinned the two biggest stars in the business right now, Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. She's pinned both of them. She's pinned both of them in the same year.
And she pinned Becky Lynch.
Make that 3.
Yeah, so something has to be done there in that sense, okay? That match was fire. I don't care what Dave Meltzer talking about. Did you see Dave Meltzer's star ratings?
Yeah, he's the only journalist I know that has never taken a bump in the ring but has CTE.
He definitely has CTE, and I'm really starting to think he don't like women's wrestling.
Is he married?
I'm not sure.
Does he have kids?
Hope not.
I don't think he does, and that says a lot.
Yeah, I'm really starting to think he don't either like women or women's wrestling. It's one or two.
Because he's been hypocritical about what he said when Sol DeRuca and Kalani Jordan did like the same exact moves as Will Ospreay and Ricochet when they had their match. The exact same moves. He criticized it, but when Ospreay and Ricochet did that, he called it a contest. He called it great wrestling on his part. He didn't have a problem with it. Oh, because it happened in Japan.
That part.
If it doesn't happen in the Tokyo Dome, it don't count.
Yeah, he kind of zesty for that. I'm not gonna hold you.
Yeah, I've always had like he's just weird to me. But let's move on to bigger and better things.
Exactly. Let's move on to that next match. So next match in no particular order. What we got here, man?
Well, the next match that happened right after that was Braun Breaker and Sami Zayn. And that match only went like 5 minutes.
Hey.
Like I walked in and I saw Sammy on the ground, and I'm like, well, that's kind of, and I had said a couple of weeks ago that this does not need to be a contest. It needs to be a dominant win for Braun Breaker to show that he's grown out of his performance from Money in the Bank. And then you look and see that he just goes in there and tears Sammy alive. It wasn't really much of a contest.
No, it wasn't. And then you had people upset. Oh, it was a short match. And I'm like, listen, he's supposed to be dominant. He's supposed to look like he's menacing. Okay? It was a short 5-minute match. If you didn't like it,
tough break, nigga.
Okay, stuff happens. keep it moving. Keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? But that was a great moment, you know, having you know, that Liv got that piece though. Hey, fun fact about Liv though. Did you know that she worked for Hooters before she became a WWE superstar? It's a fun fact. But y'all, what would it take for me to be a guest on? Listen, you got my DM. I'm gonna reach out to you, and I got you, bro.
You don't have to be a guest just one time either.
Yeah, you can always come through, bro. You cool. But what's crazy is everyone was complaining about the 5-minute match, but no one wants to give the props to how dominant Braun Breaker looked during those 5 minutes. Okay, it was an awesome showcase for him. Sammy did a good job holding the title from April to August. I've said it many times on the show. Sami Zayn is a great chaser, an awesome chaser. But when it comes to being the person who's no longer chasing for the title, it's not a long-term run for him as champion. It's not. It has nothing to do with his ability to keep people invested or keep asses in seats. It's just as a person who likes a feel-good story, I'm just gonna be honest with you. Like, feel-good stories are only good for the moment, right?
Right.
Then after that, what's next? What have you done for me lately? Right? He has the title, but with him having the title, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what's next for you? What else are you gonna do? Because now that you have the title, nothing else is interesting at this point. You know what I'm saying? Sami Zayn, not calling him a dual champion, but he's better as the person that chases the title than the person that holds it long term.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because his story is always trying to get the title. It's never a story of, now that I got the title, this is what's next for me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm happy that he lost the title. I'm more than happy. It's time to get some of this fresh meat, pause, in here. Some of this fresh.
Time to get some world championship. Get some world championship title shots in his future, because I see him challenging Cody down the line.
You know what? I'm not mad at that if it happens either.
Yep.
I'm not mad at that. Moving on from that. Next match, in no particular order, Braun Breaker is not Goldberg 2.0, so wrestling marks, please stop.
Thank you.
That is so true.
Thank you. It needed to be said. I don't care. I don't care who it is. That needed to be said.
Listen, just because he does a spear
does not mean he's Goldberg.
And just because he had an undefeated streak doesn't mean he's Goldberg either. All right. You know, Braun Breaker is going to be huge. He's probably going to be bigger than Scott and Rick put together by the time his career is all said and done. Mm-hmm. That's my opinion. But he's no, by any way in the sense, a Goldberg ripoff.
Because that would be implying that he can't wrestle. And he can.
Exactly. What you got over there? What you got?
Next match that happened after that was Logan Paul versus LA Knight. And so basically it went typically how we wanted it to go. Logan Paul did hit the 180 springboard moonsault onto LA Knight, which had everybody in the building, everybody in the stadium with their jaws looking like this.
Yeah, that's serious.
But here's the thing. You see that a lot on CMLL, Lucha Underground, New Japan, even in ECW, Super Crazy was doing it weekly. This is not a diss to him. It's just that if you are a hardcore fan, you've seen that a thousand times. It's just that in WWE it wasn't done. And
I don't even think it's that, bro. But keep going.
I think what it is just that Logan Paul continuously surprises people every time he wrestles. He always pulls something new out of his arsenal. And I think a lot of people underestimate his wrestling ability and his athleticism. So when he does something that you wouldn't expect him to do, you're thrown off by it. And I'm like, nah, this is the kind of athlete we know he can be. But this shows that if he actually put his mind to it and took it serious and stopped and focused on solely wrestling, he would be world championship material.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Wholeheartedly speaking, though, LA Knight definitely put on a show. And I thought he tried to kill Logan Paul with the top rope brainbuster because that looked nasty. Like I'm saying, that looked like live. I could hear that thud all the way back here. I thought he broke his fucking neck.
Listen, I loved every moment of it, but LA Knight giving him the business was definitely much needed from everybody.
Mm-hmm.
We definitely needed that.
People love to see Logan Paul lose anyway.
And then you also got to remember, like, okay, it's Logan Paul. Not a rip at him, but it's Logan Paul. Okay, Logan Paul, who's not going to be wrestling full time, who's not going to be there every week. He's a mid-card champion. We need that mid-card championship defended, if not every week, every 2 weeks. We needed that every pay-per-view. You busy, bro. You got a podcast. You got an energy drink that's being sued right now for the second time. Prime Energy. You got all this going on, and we need someone who deserves it. LA Knight has been due for a title for over a year. Let's keep it a buck. LA Knight has been due for a championship over a year, and they put the belt on Logan Paul, a person that, number one, is not a full-time, number two, got a lot of stuff going on outside, and then number three, he ain't really put in the work. Okay, yes, is he undefeated? No, he's not undefeated anymore. I think Logan Paul has probably had a total of 3, maybe 4 losses inside his career as a WWE wrestler, right? But at this point, do we keep the title on someone who has gathered a lot of controversy outside of the, you know what I'm saying? If you don't know what I mean by the controversy, just go back and just type in Logan Paul and type in Olympics, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. All right, that's a lot of controversy surrounding them, but at the same time, controversy does create cash. But as well, we do need somebody who is not gathering the wrong eyes of attention on us, because it's a direct reflection of the company, right? So if this person is gathering bad publicity, bad press or whatever, then it reflects the company.
Yep.
It is what it is. So hats off to LA Knight, well deserved. I hope LA Knight has like a Ricky the Dragon Steamboat title run, a year plus something. Mm-hmm. But then again, we need to get away from those long reigns, because back in the day, in the Attitude Era, when you had the title switching hands every few months, it kept it interesting. I think we need to go back to that formula, actually, because breaking records is cool, but what does it do for the people that are still in the chase for the title?
I mean, so, I like the long title reigns because it actually means something when someone has the belt, instead of them just hot potatoing the title back and forth because let me explain. What is the biggest championship reign we've had in the last 4 years? Roman Reigns. Well, look what the championship elevated him to. And look at how the long reign of Gunther's Intercontinental Championship put him in the main event picture as a world champion. So these long title reigns kind of build up the champion, in my opinion, and it gives that champion a chance to show what he can do against immense talent, so that when the title does come off that champion, he's ready to take the next level up into world championship material.
True.
Like, and here's the thing: if LA Knight keeps the United States Championship for a year and a half, right, and let's say he loses it, at that point now he's ready to step into the main event scene. Absolutely. Because the main event scene is already crowded, and you got guys like Seth Rollins, CM Punk. They're like coming towards the end of their tenure here, because Rollins just had to is taking some time off again because he wasn't really ready to come back, but he did. You got to get these guys into the title picture because LA Knight's in his 40s. Damian Priest is in his 40s. Gunther, these guys gotta get those championship runs out the way. And then I think the long reigns definitely build the stars of tomorrow, or the people who are currently going to carry the flag, because having a long reign means something. And that's not to knock how you feel. No. That's just how I feel. I would give somebody a long championship reign if it meant something. Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, they had long championship reigns that meant something and catapulted them into the main event scene. Becky Lynch the same way. Charlotte Flair was hot potatoing the title with Sasha Banks, and like it was like, this pay-per-view she would win it. This pay-per-view would be the other person. Like, it has to mean something. And if you consistently hot potato the title means absolutely nothing.
Now, I get you on the hot potato thing. Now, when I say hot potato, I don't mean like, okay, what they did with the WWL Championship. Remember when Kane won it on Sunday and then came Monday Night Raw, lost it? Yep. Nothing like that. Now, when I say like, because Roman just had let's call it, he had a 4-year run with the championship of 4 years. It was to the point that they had to create another title because this baby's not coming off him no time soon, right? So my thing is, either A, they're going to have to create a title where people can actually be able to achieve it,
right?
Or B, don't create a title and we stick with the long reigns. But if you stick with the long reigns, just know you're going to have cases like a Ricochet who's going to feel like, damn, I'm here, I'm not being used, I'm not in a title contention. Or you could have people like a Bobby Lashley, you know what I'm saying, where great talent, but he's on his way out, you know what I'm saying, because he wasn't put in that title contention. He didn't have that title reign. Or, the same thing that goes with anybody else who's leaving, right? Because one of the reasons why people get into the business is to be champion, right?
Right, exactly.
And to be that guy. So if you have like those lengthy title reigns, right, that are going on past 2, 3, 4 years, then it's like, okay, listen, we're either gonna have to create another title or try to take this title off this person. So when I do say like shorter runs, I think, to me, a short run
would be like how Sammy's was.
That's a short run, right? That's Sammy, right?
Yep.
Sammy and Bailey's runs will be short runs. I think that a good run for a title can be anywhere from 8 months to a year.
Okay.
Anything past that, then it's like, okay, we're chasing stats at this point. You're chasing stats.
Mhm.
And that's what it started out for a lot of these long title reigns were stats, right? Bianca Belair was the first woman to hold a title over a year. Okay?
Mhm.
These are all stats that we're chasing. But after we look past the chasing of the stats, we have to get to the point of, okay, how do we elevate everyone else on this roster who is also extremely talented as the person that is champion without making them feel overlooked? That's when it comes to, okay, now we got to create more titles. But if you create more titles, do these other titles actually mean anything, right? You
Right.
know, you look at AEW, how many mid-card championships do they have? You know what I'm saying? And that's only to keep people vested in those characters.
And another thing with those championships, like it kind of creates too much space, and it's like it creates too much space because it's like, okay, this person has this championship, this one. So when someone goes after one of those championships, it's kind of like, hey, I'm going to go after this championship, but is there a story behind it that means something for me to chase it?
That part.
The reason why you feel that way, which I understand, is short runs are only good if there's no major story behind it.
Exactly.
But if there's a story behind it, they need to have a long run. And that's what that's what I'm bringing back. So you're not wrong for how you feel. We're both right. But if I'm chasing a championship and there's a story behind it, it's got to mean something. Give you an example. I'm pulling a little back from history, and I know you could agree with me on this. All right, so 2017, Naomi was chasing the championship and beat Alexa Bliss at Elimination Chamber 2017. She got injured. That was the short-term story that she was going to eventually win her championship back at WrestleMania in her hometown. Not too many people do that.
Yeah.
Win the world title in their hometown.
Nope.
After that, there was really no other story for her for her championship. It was just holding the title until Natalya took it off her at SummerSlam. But with that run, there should have been some sort of story behind it, because they didn't really pull from their lore and say, hey, you know, Naomi's got this going on. Let's try to build a championship story around her having the title. With Roman, he has a whole story and a whole arc behind his championship run. With Sami, his championship run was the chase. With Braun, his championship run was losing to Sami Zayn, and it was a short-term kind of chase. So yeah, wholeheartedly speaking, and I know that they're probably adding a women's mid-card championship to WWE, but again,
yeah, it's a speed championship, by the way.
But again, what's going to be the story behind it? Because at this point, you're handing out championships like they're participation trophies. It doesn't really have any meaning behind it. It's just hey, we're going to give you something to hold on to because we don't really have anything for you. We call it the here damn championship. Here's the here damn. Like, okay.
Yeah, damn, take it.
Yeah.
You got something.
What was the next match? Oh, so the next match after that was I'm gonna let you take it over from here.
Me? Oh my God, yes. I'm glad you let me take it. First of all, shout out to my future wife, Nia Jax. Just want to put that out there. I'm currently married, by the way. My wife just closed the door after I said that. But shout out to my future wife, Nia Jax. Listen, man. my wife knows how I feel about Nia Jax. Okay, it's no secret. It's nothing that I hide from her. She knows how I feel. Okay. Nia Jax is bae. She has always been bae. There's nothing y'all can say to make me turn against her. Nothing. Okay. Nia Jax, this man right here does love Nia Jax. But so I never got to the story of how we end up in our seats, but needless to say, we end up being about 7 rows behind commentary, which was like perfect because we were like right in the walkway where everyone was walking through. So guess who walks by me? By me, Cheech, Dom, Darrell, and B. The Rock's mom walks by first. And you know who walks by? Right behind her? My future mother-in-law, Nia Jax's mom. She walks by, right? So she walks by, and I wave. I said, hey, mother-in-law. She waved the hand or whatever, and went to go sit in her seat. But yes, this match was to me a coming out party because not only did Bayley look great in that match, Bayley looked like $1 million. This was bigger than Hogan slamming Andre. She powerbombed Nia Jax from the top rope, bro.
And people don't do that.
No, they don't. This is Nia Jax we talking about. This not no little person. This lady right here, Bayley, came through. And shout out to Bayley for a remarkable title run, right? She had a beautiful title run. I am one of the people that did say that. Yeah, I did. I am one of those people that did say that, okay, Bayley doesn't need a long title run because she doesn't. Okay, the heel mark says Bayley was robbed. Listen, I don't know about robbed, but I get what you said. It was a great match. Tiffany Stratton came through, had a huge pop. Everyone's thinking that at the time that Tiffany was going to cash in and cause my future wife the championship. No, it was only a diversion. Okay, Nia Jax bounced back, recovered, got the 1, 2, 3, and walked out as the queen and the champion that she is. Well deserved after coming back after a year. Okay, let's remember that Nia Jax was going from WWE for how many years? Almost 2 a year. Mm-hmm. Came back, did the grinding process, and this is her reward. So hats off to her. She deserved it. It's not like it was given to her. No, Nia Jax had a great story to go along with everything that she was doing,
and she earned it.
She earned that shit
the right way.
I mean, the right way, if you want to call The Distraction by Tiffany Stratton, but hey, such is life. Such is life. You got to be on your P's and Q's.
Oh, the plot thickens. That's why he was saying that.
Oh, Bayley's your future wife. Well, look, I don't. Ain't nothing wrong with look. You can have BBL Bayley, and I am fine with this queen right here. Okay, this is a queen.
That one too.
Oh yeah, she a queen too. Baby doesn't get the reign. I feel this. See, a lot of people say that, and I'm with you on that. For Bayley to have a reign that's a year, we're gonna have to do something interesting with her story.
Well, I mean, come on, Snow. She was double champion at a time during the pandemic era when her and Sasha were holding the tag team championships and the Raw and the SmackDown women's championships at the same time. I don't know about you, but that's kind of a reign to me, because if you're double champion in 2 different divisions, that puts you on a level that many people have not been on. That's like Stone Cold and Triple H level. That's Roman Reigns level. Like, you were holding the world championship and the tag team championship, and your best friend had the exact same titles as you did. Just one was on a different show. And Bayley is better as a chaser than as a champion.
Yes.
This is exactly what we were talking about. The pop that she got when she won at WrestleMania against Io Sky, she didn't get that pop ever again. Ever. And it's not to diminish her talent, but because she's better as a chaser than as a champion. We believe in you when you're going for the title, but when you get the title, it's like people lose interest. The second that you become champion, people are already trying to push who should take it off of you right away.
This is all facts. This is all facts. This is not opinionated. No, this is facts. Like, it's unfortunate because it's not that she's a bad talent. She's a great talent.
You know who else suffers from this?
Who?
Bianca Belair. Because she is a excellent chaser. She had the crowd behind her at WrestleMania 37 and 38. By the time we got to 39, it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that. And that's not to diminish her talent, but if you are a white meat baby face, you are better as a chaser than as a champion. We're experiencing this problem right now with Cody Rhodes because he is showing a lot of heelish nature and tropes hidden within his face turn. That's why Undertaker said Cody, he can't wait to see Cody as a heel, as champion.
You know, when that happened, the skies will open up and the people will rejoice because I'm waiting on Cody with the black hair to show up.
Dude, he already acts like a heel. He has his own tour bus. He has the suits. He has the girl
picking his challengers,
picking his own challengers. Like, Cody could just show up and be like, "I'm better than you." Like, okay, listen, it's even in his nickname. The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes was the blue collar worker, the 9-to-5 worker that busted his ass, didn't wear the best looking clothes, but he showed the talent. Then what's the opposite of a dream? A nightmare. Cody is the American nightmare, rocking the suits with the tour bus as the beautiful woman, the expensive cufflinks, the dog, all of the tropes. He's the champion, and he's showing. He's like, you know, shaking your hands. He's a politician, like Roman said. That's America's nightmare. The American dream is working to get that. The nightmare is keeping it and making everybody who worships you feel like they're the dirt on your feet because they're beneath you. And that's what we're waiting for with Cody. It's only a matter of time.
No, it's definitely gonna happen with Cody. I don't know if it happens by WrestleMania, but I need it to happen soon.
It's coming. The next match that was after that was, from what I remember, Punk and Drew McIntyre, because we're not going to talk about the Jelly Roll thing, or that's just going to skip past that. Nothing wrong with it, but we're just going to skip past it.
Nothing wrong with it.
But that's not what we're here for.
No.
So we had CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre with the calling back to SummerSlam 97 with everything that I had said and that JT had said about there being so many callbacks to previous things withered within it. And this match didn't have a lot of wrestling, and it didn't need it.
No.
It was a story-based match. This was an all storytelling match, and I loved every bit of it because I initially thought it was going to start out with Drew hitting a Claymore right away, and then just beating up on Punk fighting back. But it didn't go like that. It told such a wonderful story. And with the bracelet becoming Punk's downfall, that was like poetic to me, because it was so reminiscent of what happened with Roman and Seth Rollins being like the link between both of those. Roman has history with Seth. He couldn't let go of the Shield, which cost him his championship. Punk was so fixated on the bracelet that he took Drew out of the Anaconda Vice. He saw Seth with the bracelet, which ultimately cost him the match.
Yep.
And Seth is now the link between both of those things happening. And Seth's storytelling abilities is just, they're so underrated. He's such a great storyteller as well.
Now, real talk, he definitely is, right? But my whole thing is, he lost over a bracelet, a cheap ass bracelet, a bracelet that the creator wants to be compensated for. I don't know if you've seen that inside the news.
Yeah.
But they want to be compensated for because it was a part of a storyline, right?
Right.
Okay. Listen, you could have lost this to any other reason, but you lost it for a bracelet. Okay. I'm not upset with you. I'm not mad at you. But what I'm saying is there's so much depth that you could have had for this story. But your main thing was he was upset because another man had a bracelet on that had my wife and my dog's name on it. That's what we fighting over? That's the big fight. We fighting over a bracelet when you have your wife and that dog at home. Damn the bracelet. Y'all could have been beef over something so much bigger. Now, don't get me wrong. As a fan, I was happy to see CM Punk finally have a one-on-one match in Cleveland, Ohio.
Without getting injured.
But to actually have a match. I was ecstatic about that. Did we need the bracelet to be like the main attraction for the story? Because as I go back and I watch like the vignettes about this, and they keep mentioning this damn bracelet, I'm like, there's no significance inside of this, right? It could have been anything. It could have been a hot sauce packet from Raising Cane's, right? And that could have been the premise of the storyline. But we need something else to go off of more than a bracelet. Y'all could have just been like, look, we got beef. I didn't need the bracelet to be part of it. I thought the bracelet was silly because at the end of the day, did he get the bracelet back? No. Is Drew McIntyre still rocking the bracelet? Yes. So at the end of the day, it's like, y'all could have just cut it dry and said, look, we got beef. I've been beefing with this man for the longest. I don't like him. I don't like the way he looks, the way that he walks, the way that he talks, the way that he dressed. You could have kept that same energy going without bringing in the damn bracelet. But at the end of the day, the match was great. It was a fight. It was a big fight feel. And I love the ref cam, by the way. The ref cam, I like that. I don't know if they're only going to be using it at PLEs. I'm cool with that too.
They should.
But that was pretty dope.
So this right here is a Build-A-Bear that me and my wife did. Like I have the black one is me, the white one is her.
Oh.
A lot of people will say, hey, you know, it was just a bracelet, but just look at it from this point and then we can move on. Or if you want to rebuttal, please go ahead. We in life always get mementos to hold on for our loved ones. And we use certain objects to help us remember those things. So typically when someone's in another possession of our mementos, it's going to kind of fuck with us, because if I have a bracelet that reminds me of my wife and my dog, I'm going to take it with me everywhere I go. It's not about the bracelet. It's about the nature of what it stands for and the memento behind it. This right here, I will never get rid of because it reminds me of my wife. And it reminds me of the time that we spent together putting this together. And I have the black one in the back. That one's me. This one's her. Well, she is the yin to my yang. And I would never let nobody touch or destroy this because it reminds me of her. And it reminds me of what our marriage stood for. So if you put that into some sort of jewelry or a bracelet, if someone touches that, it's basically like they're saying, screw your marriage, screw your connection with that person and everything that it stands for. And it's going to drive you insane. Of course, some people can't understand that because to them, it's just material. But it's not about the material. Who cares if it costed $2 or $2,000? What it is it's a memento to remember those people you love by. And when you carry those things with you, like wholeheartedly, Swerve Strickland had his son's painting stapled to the side of his face when he fought Hangman Adam Page.
Mm-hmm.
You have a child. If a child gives you a painting and says, here, Dad, it's for you, you're going to cherish it. Now, let's say somebody like me comes in and says, what the hell is this? And just rips it up. You're going to feel some kind of way because your child, you're exactly. So if we're having a match and I pull out that painting and I rip it up, it's going to garner an emotion from you because there's an emotional attachment to that object. And that's the part that is why CM Punk lost. When you have an emotional attachment to that, it becomes a part of you. This ring right here, this is my ring that my wife gave me, and I gave her ring. I don't ever want to lose this. If I see somebody wearing this, there's an emotional attachment for it, for what it stands for. And that's all I wanted to say about it. But I can understand why Punk would feel the way he would feel, because from a realistic standpoint, it makes sense. From a wrestling standpoint, it kind of doesn't, but that's how you blend real world and wrestling all in one.
That's true. But at the end of the day,
Hated it.
no, love the match, storyline not so much because it's wrestling, right? I don't want to live in reality. I go to wrestling to escape reality in some sense, right? But the next time they fight, guess what? The brace is still going to be a part of it, right? It's kind of it's kind of going to be like remember the end of Friday after Debo gets knocked out, and then Red gets his chain back in his bike.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it's going to be like when CM Punk finally defeats Drew McIntyre, right?
It's going to be like how Undertaker's urn was.
Yeah. But whoa. Hold on now. Whoa. Too far with the urn. Too far because the urn had the power, okay? The power of the urn. That's how, oh my gosh. You may be right. You may be right.
Gotcha.
You may be right.
Gotcha.
The power of the urn, the power of the bracelet. You may be right.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is why I'm on the show. This is why he picked me.
Oh my gosh. You know what? You may be right about that. You're right. Because that bracelet has a lot of power over him. So if you control the bracelet, you control CM Punk. Oh my gosh. Mind blown, man. So moving on from the CM Punk and Drew McIntyre beef, we get into what do we have there?
Damian Priest versus Gunther was the next match.
Now that, my man,
woo!
That right there was dope. Not gonna hold you. That was a great match. I was one of the ones that wanted Damian Priest to have a longer title run, but we knew it was just a matter of time that he was going to lose that title. And unfortunately, it happened here at SummerSlam. And unfortunately, it happened the same week and as the Puerto Rican Pride Parade here in Cleveland, right? Cheech was there. Cheech was happy. So Cheech goes JT. He goes JT. If Damian Priest wins this match, you gotta put me on your shoulders and let me get my celebration on, right? So I said, okay. And if Damian Priest lose, you gotta put me on your shoulders. He was like, you know what? Bets off. Because I don't know. I don't know if you met Cheech, but Cheech, well, of course you met Cheech, but for the people that haven't seen Cheech in person, I'm just saying this is 385 pounds on top of somebody that's probably like 185 tops. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
So I'm just saying it wouldn't have worked.
It would not have worked.
Nah, it wouldn't have worked. That's a lot of weight on someone's shoulder. But I will say this: that match was great. I enjoyed every aspect of it. Damian Priest don't get the credit that he deserved. I think Damian Priest was a great champion. He was a great champion for the time that he had it. Maybe his next run will be longer, but he was a great champion. But the fact that it came at the hands of his own people, his brother, his family, his La Familia, all that. Man.
And no share.
Oh, yeah.
What happened to your share?
There is powerful niggardry at work here.
His own people?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but then again, Finn Balor kind of recapped on that on Raw. It's like, last year when I had my match with Seth, what did you do? You popped up with your little funky ass briefcase and you caused me the match. Finn Balor could have been the WWE Heavyweight Champion. He really could have. Damian Priest came and messed that up.
Mm-hmm.
Go a year later, full circle, and then Damian Priest started to get the big head. Started to tell people, no, I got this. I don't want y'all out there for my match. When Judgment Day, they run like a family. They run like a gang shit. You know what I mean? Where you go, I go.
I go.
Yo bullshit. It's my
bullshit.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's the way that's the way family rolls. That's the way gang goes. It's like your shit is my shit. My shit is your shit. Wherever you go, I go. Wherever I go, you go. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the whole point of being in a family / gang, right? You never roll alone. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like it was coming for Damian. It was definitely coming because you could see like within the weeks and months how so much he was invested into him and not so much the Judgment Day.
Now it's time to do a little breakdown.
Give it to him.
Ladies and gentlemen, what did Finn Balor and Liv Morgan vow to do a couple of years ago? They vowed, and this was what I was talking about, what I was waiting to say, they vowed to take down Judgment Day together. Do you guys remember? Why did Finn Balor take the hotel key when she gave it to Dom? Why did Liv Morgan get out? Why did Liv Morgan get out of Finn Balor's car when she was seen in the back? They had already plotted to take down Judgment Day when they least expected it.
They was creeping.
And it wasn't actually even Judgment Day. It was just Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley, the Terror Twins. But we all knew that Finn Balor was going to eventually turn on Damian Priest when he did this, when Damian Priest did this, Exhibit A, let me make something clear for you. If a motherfucker grabs me by my mouth like that and starts yelling at me, all bets are off.
Yeah.
You ain't grabbing me like that, bro.
Not a grown man.
I'm a grown ass man, and you a grown ass man. We not doing that. I'm gonna get you, but I'm gonna get you when you least expect it. That's why Finn Balor said backstage, "Yo, I'm sorry." He wasn't apologizing for what he previously did. He apologized
for what
he was about to do. But
yes,
he
sir.
was just letting you know you ain't gonna see it coming. And ladies and gentlemen, Judgment Day now is without Damian Priest or Rhea Ripley or Edge. It's original members. There are no OG members in the Judgment Day. I don't know how Carlito got added. He just kind of was a walk-on. He kind of just walked in and was like, "Hey, yeah, like, hey, yo, what you doing? You trying to come through? I bet. Can I come through? I bet. Click." That's how Carlito got in. Gunther is about to walk into Bash at Berlin, the World Heavyweight Championship. Can you imagine the pop he's gonna get?
Man, that pop gonna be crazy.
And we all said if he walks into Bash at Berlin as champion, whoever he faces has no chance.
No. He faced
Randy Orton. That is a superstar matchup for Gunther, and that will prove that he's ready, because once he beats Randy Orton, is just get out the way. Like, don't even, like, you can line up all the challengers you want, but once he beats Randy Orton, because he won't be going after Cody, it's gonna be bad. And really nobody's gonna beat him unless they redo WrestleMania 40 and have Sami Zayn beat him again, which would make no sense. But Gunther's going to have a year run with the title because, again, like I said, this long run is going to mean something. And Gunther should not lose at WrestleMania next year. He should walk in and retain and keep the championship for a little bit longer. This long reign will make the World Heavyweight Championship means something instead of just being the secondary title to the Undisputed Championship.
No, real talk on that. I'll give you that. The doors of the church are open because Dallas just preached, but we gonna go ahead and move on to the next match. I think it was the match. The match.
Cody Rhodes versus the
tribal
chief Solo Sikoa.
Listen, that was hands down one of the best matches that I have seen. Solo deserves to be in the main event. If y'all don't understand what I'm talking about, go read a book or something, because Solo did everything that he was supposed to do as a heel in the main event. Solo felt like a main event heel. He didn't feel like he was being carried. He felt like he belonged there. If for someone who wasn't always in the main event, even in NXT, for him to move on to this and be main event at quite possibly the third, well, it is the third. It's the third biggest PLE of the year. SummerSlam. He's on the face of the poster. He's on the face of the front row seats that you get when you get that VIP. By the way, if you need a front row seat, I'm gonna auction one off. I'm not gonna keep it. But with that being said, layers to this, and went back to 40 with the bloodline rules, which is bringing it all back together, right? They bought that back. You had GOD come out, Gorillas of Destiny. They came out, they did their thing. Tongaloa,
Mr. Turnbuckle.
Yeah, I mean, but you know what?
It's
This is
okay.
part of, it's a part of his gimmick at this point. It's always been a part of his gimmick. If you go back and watch this New Japan Pro Wrestling stuff, and you watch this stuff, that's just been him. Okay. Then you had the Samoan Werewolf come through, Jacob Fatu, wrecking shop. But who else did we have come through? We had Sammy. We had Randy Orton come through, right? Samoan Werewolf runs through all of them, jumps off the top rope, injures himself. And who comes after that?
I mean, I mean, it needs no introduction. I mean, it literally needs no introduction. And then you have manifesting the return of Roman Reigns right there. Let me explain something real quick.
Talk to him.
We were all in the stadium. We heard that, and we instantly knew it was Roman before the graphic even came up on the Titantron, because that's what we were all there for as well. I could not, from where I was sitting, I literally could not hear the music. I was waiting for the beat to drop, and then I realized, oh shit, Roman got Def Rebelled, so they gave him a new theme. However, when I turned around, all I saw were ones. Everybody had ones up. Every single person had a one up except my wife, because she's like, is that Roman? I'm like, yeah, Roman's out. And then she was like, oh, okay, put her one up. Let me explain something. I've been to many wrestling events. I have never heard something that loud in my life. And this is similar to when CM Punk came back at Survivor Series 2023. When you can't hear the music of the person that's returning, you know you did the right thing.
Yeah.
His theme sounds more heroic. Has anybody noticed that? If you go back and listen to Roman's theme, it sounds extremely heroic.
Oh yeah, especially with that extra drum line in there.
It's like he's coming to save WWE from the bloodline, coming to save Cody Rhodes from the faction that he created. And then you have Cody fans and Roman fans like this for one night only. One night only. United. Something you'll probably never see again. Possibly. One night only, they were united. And everybody liked that. Everybody was big on it. Everybody knew that Roman being there was a big deal. The match was incredible. Slow build, fire ending.
No, real
One
tough.
other thing, though. One other thing. We still haven't gotten a stare down or an interaction between Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns. And
You gotta,
coming.
oh, it's coming, but you gotta let that slow cook and simmer, because it's gonna come, and when it do come, it's coming all over the place. Pause. Okay, it's gonna be everywhere. Every single streaming app, it's gonna be there. That's the match that I want to see. Give me Roman versus Samoan Werewolf.
Roman versus Jacob Fatu. That's what you want to see?
Yeah.
And let me just say that
He ain't lying. That's right.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm telling the truth. I gotta see that shit.
I gotta see it all.
Overall, what would you give SummerSlam?
An A.
Yeah. I seen someone put 8 out of 10. I think that was the Hill Marks.
Mm-hmm.
That, for me, being there live in attendance, that was a 10 out of 10.
Yep. Matter of
10
fact,
out
I'll
of
change it to an A+, because all of them, every match was better than the last one.
Yeah.
You got something different from every match. If a heel won, it was a dirty win for a reason.
No.
If a face won, it was well deserved.
Well deserved.
It meant something. And Cody only got a quotation marks dirty win because it's a bloodline rules match and anything goes. Mind you, he's won the last bloodline rules match as well. So he's like, what, 2 in bloodline rules match, which is funny because the person took it from ended up helping him in the end. It's like you don't really see Doomsday help Superman, do you? Nope. But on this occasion, he did. Now, what's next?
What's next is War Games, but that's a different story. Speaking of stories, a few things that happened this week in the world of wrestling. We had the Y6 make their debut versus American Made. That's the name they're giving them. The Y6 versus American Made. The Y6 looked amazing as a tag team. Chef's kiss. We need more of that. Someone asked me, how long is this going to last for the Y6? I said it can last as long as they keep booking them the way they book them. The moment that they go outside of the grain, that's when you have people being naysayers. But remember, the Y family, the OG Y family, could have lasted as long as they wanted to if it wasn't for the injuries. I just throw that out there. And then, of course, on SmackDown, the big thing coming out of there was the celebration. Then we also got the number 1 contendership for the tag team championships. So we had that go on. And then in AEW news, looks like the AEW Trios Championships will all be a triple threat match at All In, which is happening August 25th. So All In is on its way. More wrestling to come. There'll be more news in store for you guys coming up. Thank you to everyone that checked out the interview that dropped this past Thursday with myself and Anthony Cole of BCW, Bree Combination Championship Wrestling. They also have their anniversary show coming up, I believe, next week. And make sure y'all check that out on their platforms. It will be available for you. Trying to think, what else are we missing? So we talked about SummerSlam. Talked about the weekend.
I don't know if we want to address this, but Britt Baker and MJF.
Oh, that beef. Woof. Yeah. So if y'all read it, I'm pretty sure y'all have by now. Britt Baker and MJF got into a beef over some he said, she said, because his girlfriend heard him say that the match was trash or some shit like that. And here we are today. So for me, I think it's just stupid. I mean, why are you running back saying what the next person said? If it was meant for them to hear it, they would have been there. Now you're just stirring up shit. So at the end of the day, is it worth it? No. But does it help out with the storylines? Yes, it does help. We'll be back next week. We'll be talking about next week the build up for, of course, the card for AEW All In. But I think we pretty much touched on everything.
And one last thing. A couple rumors. So it looks like Bryan Danielson is scheduled to have neck surgery towards the end of 2024, which we all believe this is probably going to be his last year, if not next year will be. Ricky Starks is expected to sign with WWE going forward, which we already kind of knew because he was like not on AEW TV as well. thing that we also touched on is Seth Rollins will be taking time off for a while. His current injury situation is said to be chronic related. So we wish Seth Rollins a speedy recovery, but definitely take your time. Lastly, Tony Khan says he has a major announcement coming up that will pretty much reshape the future of AEW. Not necessarily sure what that is, but he has a tendency to overhype his announcements and not deliver. But there's that.
And I think that's it. We'll bring some more stuff out the bag next week. But with that being said, it's about that time. Yeah, it's that time.
Thought it's real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
Look, I want to thank y'all for tuning in, listening and tuning in. Listen, too much negativity can have you unbalanced mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically. Listen, spread more positive vibes. It takes very little to build someone up than it does to tear them down, okay? Think about the logic inside that message. It can be easy as doing something for somebody out of the kindness of your heart. Or go to whatamaneuver.net. For the time being, get yourself some of them positive vibes only apparel. You ain't got to get it for you, okay? Get it for someone that may be going through something, all right? Maybe them looking at the message down on that shirt can be a constant reminder that life is not as bad as it seems. Maybe for the first time in a long time, you was able to get a front row ticket to a PLE. Maybe for the first time in a long time, okay? You were featured on WWE.com. And you didn't make too much noise about it because you just want to be humble as you have always been. And maybe for the first time in a long time, you were able to get more than 5 hours of sleep. Whatever that may be, spread those positive vibes. And with that being said, we love y'all. We love y'all, and we will catch y'all next episode. With everyone saying amen, amen,
Amen,
and peace.
Amen.